So today, I thought we should try out some luminous painting on these hands. Now here I've got the Benita, which we've been working on. I've just sort of put it back together, not properly, I haven't put any screws in it, so we can just take that apart in a bit to get it back together properly. And it has been running pretty much non-stop for about a week now. I can't remember when I put the last video out. So that's great to see. Keeping time too. So, here we've got the hands from the Benita. And you can see there's no luminous paint in them. And I've also got this hand from a Junghans alarm clock, which is at the back there. You can see it poking out from behind. So we've got that to paint, and we've got these ones. So let's get to it. I've got this pot of luminous paint, and what it is some luminous paint mixed with some water and some PVA glue. I'm not sure of the proportions, but this mixture seemed to work quite well because it sticks as well and it's not too rough, because when you get it new it's sort of gritty and lumpy and it doesn't really work very well. So I think we should try using this. You can see I've used it in the past, it's got more luminous paint on it. And I'll add somewhere, hopefully if I remember, in this video, a little shot of it glowing in the dark, just to see how good it is. So, I think we should start with the hour hand, and see if it can bridge the gap. If not, I'll have to think of something else, or maybe just abandon this entirely. So I'm just going to get a blob of luminous paint, and paint it from the back. Seems to be a bit too runny. It's not filling in that gap like it should. Alright, in that case, we might have to put some backing on it or something like that. So I'll just wipe off this paint I put on there. Just like that. And I'll get some of this paper, and we should be able to just make a little bit of paper to fill in that little gap. So I'll cut these out now. I'll be back in a second. So I've just started with the hour hand now. I've got that bit of paper cut out, and I think we can start painting it on the back just to secure it there, and then we can fill it in from the front. We can use the paint as a kind of glue, like that, and hopefully that will hold there. Yep. Let's paint the other end as well. Excellent. There we go. And we'll let that dry for a second, and I'll put it there. And then we can go back and paint the other hand. Well, no, not paint the other hand yet. Paint the front of it, and then paint the other hand. May as well start the back of this one as well. So I'll just cut out a thin bit of paper. And as they're tapered at the back, I'll put a bit of taper on here as well. There we go. So let's just place that on there, see if it fits. Very good. Getting lucky with this today. So let's just put that on there. Like that. You can always trim off any excess at the end. Any overhanging paper. Or something like that. Don't know if you can hear the Seth Thomas in the background. There we go. Bit more paint on it. Hopefully adding PVA to this won't dilute the luminousness too much. Right. Okay, I'll let that dry and I'll get back to you in 20 minutes. Now whilst we're waiting, I've gone ahead and done this hand as well, and you can see it's quite built up and blobby looking, but that shouldn't be a problem because it dries quite hard and rubbery, so I should be able to just carve off the excess with a knife. So the hands have dried now, and I think we can start shaving down this dried paint. So I'm just going to start with the hour hand again, literally just scraping off the paint from the edges because it does build up. I don't think my knife's really sharp enough, to be honest. Oh well. Just making it look a bit nicer, tidying up the corners and the base of the hand. Oops. There we go. Now that looks pretty good, I think. Well, it looks okay anyway. It's going to be good from a distance. And now I think we can try the minute hand. Okay. And that looks alright. Looks alright to me. Just finish off trimming the edges. Like in there. Zoom in a bit. Alright, now those two are done, so I think we can just try this one out. I know it's not part of the project, but we'll do it anyway. I did this one slightly differently because I didn't put a paper backing on it. I thought I might try it without it. Looks like it's holding up okay. It looks pretty soft, but it is actually, this is as hard as it gets. I think it's definitely better with the paper on the back. I feel like I'm just going to peel this out any second. Although, it's not that bad. I mean, if you look at it, it's properly skeleton. Oh, okay. Maybe you don't need it then. Good to know. Should make my life easier next time I do this. Let's trim the excess. Alright, does look a bit weird. Probably better if I actually did it in the camera. Okay, now that bit at the bottom there, not that. As well. Alright. That bit at the bottom there is where the super glue I put on it stuck to the paint. So as you see, it probably wasn't a good idea to put glue on it whilst the paint was still drying. So I'll just get this black pen and I'll just do that. And no one will know. Alright. See the hand I glued on the back of it? There we go. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than soldering a bit of hand directly to the clock mechanism. Alright, so I think we should start putting stuff back together. Okay, so let's pull the camera back up again. See our Benita there. Let's just fold that away for safety's sake. And you can see it's literally just held together with nothing really. Alright, so the first thing to do is, you can see it's still working right now, put the, let's get the parts out first, make a bit of a mess. Right, the first thing to do is put the alarm wheel thing on it. If I can find it, it should be in here somewhere. Just empty these bits out. What a mess. Now there should be a pile of non-relevant stuff somewhere, so we'll just get to that because I think that's where I put the alarm shaft. So, it took a while to find this. Finally I found it. The alarm hand holder shaft. So, we can carry on with the reassembly. So we've got the movement here. Now that just goes straight on. And then we've got a little springy washer here, which goes on next. And that just helps keep everything to the mechanism when the face is on. And then what we do is put the movement inside this inner case here. And if you just line it up like that, and it will go in. And then putting your fingers on there so it doesn't fall off. You could probably just take this off now and put it on in a bit. Why didn't I do that before? So let's screw the movement in, which requires our little washers, like that, and the little screws, the sort of silver flat ones. Should have 4 washers and 4 screws. Let's put this back together. And they go on these rubber grommets and screw into the mechanism at the back. That's what we'll do now. Oops, oh, magnetic screwdrivers. Right, let's try that again. Oops. There we go. Whenever something falls off, I can't find it again because the carpet's got a design on it that makes it so hard to find dropped items on. This is not supposed to be difficult, it's just literally fiddly. There we go. Zoom in a bit. It's a good idea to do the opposite sides first, as it gets a better even amount of force. I'll do this one on my lap. It's easier. There we go. Now for the other two. There we go. I've actually got one leftover washer, which is a bit weird. I shouldn't have 5. I think it must be from the other movement. Also, what's that doing there? Bit weird. Alright, so that's screwed in. Now we can put the face on. So let's get our alarm hand shaft. Let's change the focus. There we go. And our springy washer. And get the face, give it a bit of a wipe down. Stop the dust on it. And literally push it on like that. Line up that thick tab with a thick hole, because there are 2 thin tabs and 1 thick one. And just push it in like that. Should be bowing out a little bit. That's just part of the design, I think. What's next? Then the hands come next. So if we start with the alarm hand, like that. Shouldn't be hard to put on. Unless of course this is the hand from a Style 8, which would make it harder. I think it might be actually. Oh no, it's not. Well, maybe it is. It fits anyway. I think that's the right one. It's bent a bit as well. There we go. Don't know why that dial looks really set back. It's weird, isn't it? Movement's in fine. Oh well. Maybe it was already like that, I didn't notice. So what you do next is you move the alarm thing backwards just to wear it in a bit, just like that. So if you find the point where it clicks, there we go, and then you move the hand knob backwards, so anti-clockwise. It should also move the alarm hand, and if you put it on an hour, like 11, the 11th hour, then you can put your hour hand right over the top of the alarm, like that, and it should be lined up. So just give it a push, and then when it comes round, let's just test it on 3 o'clock, like that. Then move the hour hand in the right direction. The alarm hand should not move, as it's not, which is good. And then when it gets to the time, there should be a click. Yes, there was. If I wound up the alarm, it would be going. Let's just double check with the alarm wound up. Fingers are all over the place. There we go. Right, there we go. So let's just move it down a bit, pull it out, and let's go round again. The alarm should go off at the right time. Yay! So we can put the minute hand on at 3 o'clock, or just past 3. Let's put it on 4. Line it up a bit better. Actually, 6 is the ideal lining up time, isn't it? Or 12. 6 is second best. There we go. Give it a good push. Oops, my finger wasn't supposed to go through that. I think I put it on too far. Let's pull it out a bit. The problem with this one not having a cap on the end of the hand, like the Canadian ones do, is that you can push the hand too far onto the shaft and then it loses its tension. I think we got this right now. Yeah, that's good. So let's zoom out a bit. That luminous paint doesn't look too bad. That's just hand alignment could be a bit better. And now it should go off at 3 o'clock. Pull it out, wind it up. Close enough. That's good. Right, what's next? Put the case back together, I think. So let's get our rubber dust protector, if that's what it is, like that, and put it on. Let's take the winding key off. Put it on so that bit of the top is over the pulley thing, like that. Try not to rip it, like some people do. And you should see all the holes line up correctly. You've got the 2 winding holes at the bottom, the hands, and it's not covering up any screw holes, which is perfect. And then what's next? What will be next after that? I think the bell. Yeah, the bell will be next. So let's get our bell on the back of the clock. Just put it on like that. And we've got 3 screws to do it up with, the brassy screws, like that. Luckily these ones are magnetic, so they'll not stick to my screwdriver. They'll fall out instead. One. 2. Oops, that was not going in at all. Try the bottom one first. That's good. Try that one again. One of them fell on the floor, I know. Yeah, that's better. Don't know what happened there. Must have caught the thread. Alright, let's pick that screw up. There it is. And the next thing is to put this base on. You could have done that earlier, but let's do it now. So let's put it on with that lump at the bottom, so it sort of follows the shape of the thing, the curve. Let's put one screw in the other one, just to get an idea of where it goes. We can do them up. They can cling to the end of my screwdriver, like that. 1. And 2. There we go. Next thing is the plastic lens. You've got these little bumps on one side of it, just there, if you look carefully. They go at the bottom. On these ones, where it doesn't have a lining up thing, it can be easy to put it up the wrong direction or something like that. Alright. And then this. What am I talking about? It does have a lining up thing. Oh well. Well, sometimes on the big bends, style 7, you can misalign that. We had a phone call there. Right, let's put it back together. So we got that on, we pushed it on. That's good. Then the next thing is to get our flowers, whatever design yours may have. Now remember I said the faded part was in the top right, so I'll put that on there. Then finally, or almost finally, you got your brass edge, which goes on where the lumps are at the bottom. Just like that. Try not to do what I just did. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Now again, almost finally, get your little brass screws, put them in the top and the bottom. The threads on this one are quite worn out, I'm afraid, so they'll just pop in. I don't know if they go into the plastic or the metal, I'm not sure. You'd think they go into the metal, but I'm not too sure. Right, where's that other screw? There it is. I knew I had it somewhere. Unusual. I haven't lost anything. Let's screw it in. You don't need the oil right now. Screw it in. Oops. Clumsy fingers. Now finally, the keys. And we should have a working Westclox. So let's wind up the time on the right and the bell on the left. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? With those luminous hands. So let's pull out the knob. Lovely noise there. One more test on the alarm, just a satisfaction test. 6 o'clock alarm, pull out the knob. Should go off at 6, or probably about 3 minutes past. Oh, it's on time this time. There we go. As you can see there, that lever at the bottom pushes a piece of sort of rubbery felt, fabric or something, on the hammer. So when you push it to the left, it has a sharper sort of metallic ring to it. When you push it to the right, it has more of a lumpy sort of bell ring. There we go. Now that is, yes, it's still ticking. That is a working Westclox Benita right there. Very impressed. Also, we've got Big J. Very nice, quite unusual Junghans alarm clock. Now this one, going off topic here, this one I think it's from 1929, and unfortunately it's missing the bell at the back. Now if anyone can give me an image of the back of one of these, I'll be very happy, because I can't find an image. Dry throat, I don't know what happened there. If anyone can find an image of the back of one of these 20s or 30s Junghans alarm clocks, it doesn't have to be a repetition, I don't think. It's just one of this style, with the 3 screws there, a bell at the back, and a leg coming out like that. Then that would be great, because I can't find a back for this anywhere, and it would be a nice idea to at least know what it would have looked like at one point. So that's pretty good. Benita fixed. And at some point I might post a video about all my alarm clocks, because I've got quite a few that I haven't shown on camera, and I'm sure someone out there will be quite interested to see what they look like. So we can see the hour hands there. Didn't point that out. Looks pretty good, I think. Went over it with a little pencil just to blend it in with the age, because otherwise it was too bright white. So I just took that pencil there and just went on it, just like that, and now it looks pretty good. So now the ultimate test, the luminous test. I'm just going to turn off the main lights before I turn off this little light, and then we can see if the luminous paint is luminous at all. So, turned off the big light. Now hopefully they've had enough time to charge up. Let's see the result. Now I don't know if you can see that, because usually the cameras don't pick this up. The Benita's doing an alright job. This one, well, of course, only the hour hand that lights up because the luminous paint's all dead. So let's give this a proper charge up with the light, like that. And then hopefully you might catch a glimpse of it on camera. It's always better to see with the naked eye because usually the cameras just don't pick it up for some reason. So let's just one more try. Can you see that? I don't know. If you can, that's brilliant. What an amazing luminous paint right there. Brilliant. I recommend that paint. It's Chinese. I don't know the name of it. I think it's from the internet.